Hi guys, how you doing? This is Ben, the Real Estate Pro, coming at you. Hopefully, going to kick you some knowledge. Hey, I want to talk to you about a YouTube channel that I follow pretty regularly. It's Jack Gately, Online Real Estate Academy, and he has some great videos, just real estate in general, but especially about the commission lawsuits that have been going on for the last few years. He's been pretty spot on. I got to give him credit as far as predicting what's going to happen moving forward. And I think I don't see any instance of disagreement between he and I as far as concepts of fiduciary duty and how we see these new changes coming up next month and how it's going to affect the market. We see it as a net good thing. Well, I don't want to speak for him, but I see it as a net good thing. There are certainly on some things that I see problematic, but in general, I think it's a good thing for consumers. So he did a video. This one's called "This is 1000% Wrong," and I'll let him talk about um, what happened to him, and he'll explain his feelings, and I'll interject from time to time as far as my thoughts on the subject. All right, here we go.
Hey, it's Jack. So one of the things that's happening is people are sending me stuff from like all over the country, which I really appreciate. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that from Colorado and Florida, all over the place. So I got this email from one of you that you forwarded it to me. Thank you very much. And this is the essence of the court case. This is the essence of the court case and why it was filed, and I want to share it with you. So this is a showing request that an agent received. They had posted their listing on the MLS without compensation, and this is the email that they received. And we're gonna not name the person out of not so we don't name the guilty here. So here it goes. I'm gonna paraphrase a little bit. I understand the changes going on with the real estate commissions, and I would like to show the home as they would prefer this community. It is in their price range, but not knowing if there is a commission until after an offer is presented is a little difficult to navigate. If you feel there will be a commission, I will show it. But if not, then I will move them in a different direction. Let me know. Thanks.
Guys, that's called steering. you know, for those that are out there that believe that steering doesn't happen or this type of practice doesn't happen, well, unfortunately it does. And I've personally seen it. I've seen agents, unfortunately, steer clients to certain properties that were offering a higher commission. I thought it was unethical then. It's unethical now, and it's unethical moving to the future. But let's keep listening.
This is the very essence of the court case, isn't it? Right? This is the very essence of the court case and why all these changes are happening. The very essence is that commissions are inflated by having them set in the listing agreement in advance and without any discussion between the buyer and the buyer's broker as to the value of the buyer broker services. Correct? Yes. That is the verdict out of Kansas City.
So what's interesting about that is if you don't know, currently, because we're not quite till August 17th, but currently under the current system and the system that we've had basically for the last 100 years, or you can at least say the 90s, under a system, there was really no reason for me as a buyer's agent to discuss compensation with a buyer because that typically came from the cooperative compensation from the seller agent. So the seller agent is the one that paid the commissions. So there was no need really to talk to a buyer about, whether you're going to be compensated as a buyer agent because that compensation kind of was already being offered. It was already there. So that discussion, whether it should have been or shouldn't have been, that discussion just generally doesn't happen. Okay. But let's just go ahead and keep reading. Now that's going to change, obviously, and Jack will talk about it here.
That commissions are inflated because there is no discussion between the buyer broker. In fact, even this morning I was talking with one of my broker friends and I said to him, how many buyers really put any thought into how much it actually costs to have a buyer broker agent?
None.
And not many, right? Not many. Oh, sorry, a little bit of wind gust there. Not many. And the whole purpose of this lawsuit is so that they have that discussion. So that discussion occurs. Because in the end, all the money from the transaction comes from the buyer. Comes from the buyer. And you shouldn't know what you're going to be making until you either have that with a buyer agency representation contract, which is now a prerequisite of the NAR settlement, and it's law in some states, and in other states, like I believe Colorado, you're not allowed to do it. Check with your local listings. But if you want to guarantee that you know what you're going to get paid, have that discussion with your buyer client, show the value to your buyer, and get that in writing with your buyer client.
And guys, this is going to happen in the post Sitzer Burnett or NAR settlement world. A buyer's agent is going to know what they're going to get paid because you're going to discuss it with your buyer and you're going to set that amount, whatever that amount may be, or you're going to be able to figure out whether you even want to, as a buyer agent, you're going to figure out whether you even want to represent that particular buyer. You may decide, hey, there's too many questions as to whether I'm actually going to get paid for my work, so I'm going to pass with these folks. And guys, that's perfectly fine to do. Okay, there isn't anything that says that you have to take on a client that can't, or maybe they don't have the probability that they're going to be able to pay you. And if you gauge that as risky, there's nothing that says that you have to take them as a client moving forward.
If you don't do that, or even if you do that, you can then request, and a lot of state associations now have amended their forms or added a form. You can just add it to the additional provisions section of your offer. You can add in there that the buyer broker shall be paid a certain percentage, and that fee would come from the listing agency or the seller, depending upon how you want to write up your offer. Not knowing what that percentage is means that you, as the buyer broker, have to be competitive with your pricing. That's the point of the lawsuit.
And that is something I'm telling you guys right now, agents are not realizing right now. They are not getting that part. I think it's partially due to they're just so used to things being a certain way, or the operation of the transaction going a certain way and being conducted in a certain manner, that they just think that's how it's going to be moving forward. But I think a lot of those agents are going to have a rude awakening because they may not know how to handle a lot of these situations moving forward with the new rules. And you as a buyer, I think you have to understand that. And you may want to talk to 2 or 3 different agents, find out what their value propositions are, and find the right fit for you. So anyway.
And while we're at it, you cannot steer your clients to or from a listing based upon the fact of whether or not it's advertised with a commission that you like or not advertised with. You can't do that.
Amen.
You cannot say, oh, there's no fee, I can't show you that. You can't do that, which is exactly what this agent admitted in their email.
I hope this agent, chances are this agent probably won't get any type of trouble, but I hope this agent doesn't. I hope they correct their ways very quickly, and I hope they don't practice that way post August 17th at least, or at least see the error of their ways and change course. I would recommend maybe getting some legal counsel. I did, as far as how to move forward in the new world. I'm pretty satisfied as to how I want to conduct myself, and how I'll um, deal with whatever situation that comes in front of me when it comes to buyers and buyer's agency, and how we'll handle as far as commissions.
This is the very essence of the verdict. And it's also the very essence of why this is a pro-consumer verdict and why you should be in favor of it, because it's going to save your buyer clients money. Could there be a downward pressure on fees? Yeah, especially if you represent the buyer side, unless you can justify your fee. And if you can justify your fee better than this guy, you very well may end up with a lot more business. Or you might create some type of new business model that maybe is a volume business. There's a lot of different ways to skin this cat. I've been saying this for a long time. But this is not it. This is the very essence of what's wrong with the existing system and why the verdict was the right verdict. All right, I'm Jack from Jack Gately Real Estate and the Online Real Estate Academy. Thanks for joining me alongside the Cape Cod Canal. You have a great day. Go make some money. Bye-bye.
Yeah, he always says at the end of his videos, go make some money. Yeah, I couldn't agree with him more. Uh, and unfortunately, there just aren't a lot of agents out there that are really keeping up with the coming changes. I've asked many different agents how they're handling or what their brokerage is going to be doing, and I get this blank stare every single time. It's a little scary for buyers, I think, coming up, but at the end of the day, um, you know, buyers need to take a little bit of time to see what's out there, see what options are out there as far as buyer's representation. And I'm sure if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, I have a little different business model. No, I still do real estate the traditional way, okay, because that's right for some buyers. But there are other buyers that may not need certain services that are traditionally offered, and may just need partial services or just certain services that are going to get what they need out of a real estate transaction. And I want to be able to address that. That's why I have some of my flat fee services. I certainly have percentage services as well. But I want to give choices to buyers. Okay? Now, this particular video, I guess it partially floors me, but at the same time, I guess I'm not surprised that he got an email like this. But like I said, hopefully this agent, whoever wrote that email, changes course, corrects themselves, and conducts themselves, in my opinion, in a much more ethical and professional manner. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you next time.